Hello, everyone. Welcome to the session Overcoming Nurse Turnover: How Untapped Local Talent Can Help Increase Retention in an Ever Challenging Labor Market. Nurses today are struggling to see the light at the end of the tunnel. Between a workforce nearing retirement and increased levels of burnout, facilities need to act now before too many nurses succumb to the strain of the current healthcare system. During this session, Amanda Duke, Chief Growth Officer of CareRev, and Deborah Visconti, President and Chief Executive Officer at Bergen Newbridge Medical Center, will share how technology-enabled workforce solutions can address nurse turnover. Before we begin, I'd like to thank the sponsor of this session, CareRev. CareRev is a technology platform empowering healthcare professionals to take control of their careers. CareRev provides a direct line between healthcare facilities and local clinical talent, cutting out the middleman and enabling professionals to work where and when they want. Now, let's dive into the session. Amanda, Deborah, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much. Hello, Deb.
Hi, Amanda. How are you today?
I'm good. It's nice to be here. I'm thrilled to have you joining me this morning for this modern healthcare session. We appreciate the opportunity that you're willing to lend your voice and your leadership perspective to this very important discussion.
Well, thank you for having me. It's my honor. Thank you.
Great. Deb, we know as president and CEO of Bergen Newbridge Medical Center, which is the largest state hospital in New Jersey, you work with over 7 unions and have a variety of complexities to consider as a result of that. And this makes you keenly tuned in to today's nursing workforce and how the pressures of the COVID pandemic have dramatically shifted their needs. Can you share with us a little bit about how the nursing workforce has evolved over the last 3 years and how that evolution has impacted the labor market?
Sure. Thanks, Amanda. So, what we're seeing now in the market is the perfect storm of what's happening with the nursing workforce. We're seeing an increased demand for nurses needed at a variety of different levels, partly because of the aging workforce and the increased demands on those individuals that need care in a hospital setting or a post-acute setting or a rehabilitation setting or a long-term care setting. Partly because we're seeing the aging workforce and many nurses have decided to enter retirement or go into a different aspect of their life. So we're seeing both of those things coupled together, creating a perfect storm. So I don't know if you know this fact, but by the year 2032, we anticipate a need for over 200,000 nurses in the market. And New Jersey is the number 3 state in the country that has the greatest shortage of nurses. So we're seeing all of this come together. We're seeing a great move out of the workforce and just an increased need. And, as a large employer in the state, we are working with our leaders, our nurse leaders, our clinical leaders to identify ways that we can retain and recruit staff, nurses to our organization.
Well, I think you've captured that very well, and it really resonates with what we hear throughout the industry. It's certainly reflected in all the polls and surveys that continue to have staffing at the top of the list of concerns for all CXOs. We have seen health systems spend this past year focused on really reevaluating their end-to-end workforce development and strategy with a very particular focus on nursing. And they're addressing really how to more effectively build a robust pipeline of nurses, as well as how to recruit and retain their top talent. How has Bergen Newbridge Medical Center undertaken a similar cross-functional effort? And what has your approach been to solving for these challenges?
Well, it's a great question and a great segue, actually. I don't know if you know that over 80,000 applicants to nursing schools have been turned away because nursing schools don't have the instructors and the resources to be able to teach these individuals. So that ties into some of the things that we've been doing here at the medical center, which is understanding those needs. We've been working to create different ways that nurses can enter our workforce. So we are creating apprenticeship programs. We're creating internship programs where we actually bring them on and pay them to do different jobs right here in the medical center so that they get experience here and they get familiar with the environment while they're going to school. So we work very closely with our higher education colleagues in the county as well as in the state of New Jersey to identify those opportunities. During the pandemic, we were able to give nursing students a really unique experience because we had a very large vaccination program and testing program here on site at the medical center. So many of the nursing students were able to be part of that COVID response, certainly an experience that they wouldn't have had otherwise. So we're always looking for creative ways to bring people into the workforce. We are now starting to target high schools and really bring people in with internship programs so they can get exposed to the healthcare environment and what opportunities, lie ahead for them. So we're starting younger and younger, and we're really being creative in ways that attract talent to the medical center and to the field, quite frankly.
Yeah. Well, I think that's right. And I think your approach really highlights the fact that there is no silver bullet to how we're going to easily fix the problem that we're in today, and how more importantly, healthcare systems have to adopt a multi-pronged approach to solving this problem. There's an incredible statistic, and you sort of highlighted it a little bit earlier in our discussion, from an American Medical Association study that says that 2 in 5 nurses intend to leave the profession within the next 2 years. As a former nurse myself, this is really a very alarming number to consider the state of nursing as it is right now. But I also think that it speaks to a new approach to retention and why that's so critical. It's not really about retaining a nurse at a specific hospital. It's about how do we retain nurses in the profession, right? How do we keep nurses in this profession and build it? So how do you and your team think differently about retention now as opposed to how you did it pre-pandemic? What's different for you?
So we're really listening to the voices of our nurses on the front line.
Yeah.
We are responding to what they need. And so the workplace has changed dramatically for everyone, nurses, as well as every other professional. So we are listening to what they want. And so some nurses don't want to work, 5 days a week, 8 hours a day, or 3 days a week, 12 hours a day. Some nurses don't want to be at the bedside. They prefer another environment. So with all the technology and different ways of delivering healthcare to our communities, to me, the opportunities are endless in what we can offer our nursing workforce. And beyond us here at Bergen Newbridge, as you noted, Amanda, we really want to get nurses back into the field. And so we're, if a nurse prefers to work virtually, there's ability to be part of our digital health work platform. If a nurse prefers to work in the community, so there's opportunities for them to go out into the community. Transitions of care, a different type of nursing model. So there's lots of different ways that we've been looking to increase that retention and recruitment by giving the nurses the opportunity to tell us what they need.
And how they want to work.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You're always thinking outside of the box and very bold in your approach as a healthcare leader. You recently partnered with CareRev to augment your employed staff with our local on-demand model. Given everything you've shared about your workforce strategy and your needs, what prompted you to bring in this type of solution to your organization?
Well, you said it best before. There's no silver bullet. There is no one thing that we can do as an industry to mitigate what's going on with the workforce. And so I'm always thinking of different ways that we can innovate, different ways that we can bring resources and talent to the medical center and to the field. And so when I was introduced to the CareRev platform, this aligned perfectly with our mission and what we're trying to accomplish, because the CareRev platform connects talent, local talent, to hospitals. And so it's all about community engagement, recognizing the needs in the community, identifying the talent within that community, and then bringing them into the organization in different ways. The CareRev platform allows us to be flexible in our ability to bring individuals in, shift-based, and other ways that individuals can join the organization. It's not a structured schedule, so you don't have to work every weekend.
Mhm.
You don't have to be assigned to one specific unit. If you wanted to go to different units, you can pick and choose. It's an app-based platform, so it's very easy to use.
Mhm.
And really anybody could get on an iPhone and join the platform and go through the credentialing process to be part of the Bergen Newbridge resource team.
Well, we're very honored to partner with such a prestigious organization that places really the highest value on quality, safety, and compassionate care delivery. You received so many awards, the Leapfrog Top Hospital Award last year. You were most recently named a top hospital by Jersey's Best Magazine. Congratulations to you and your team for both your dedication and your passion for your community.
Thank you.
How does your approach to talent acquisition and retention align with your mission to enhance community health, compassionate care, and accessibility to those in need? And how critical is it for you to tap into the local talent pool of healthcare professionals that CareRev provides through its platform? Or really just said a simpler way, how important is it for you and your community to have caregivers who work and live alongside you?
Oh, it's truly vital. It's one of our strategic pillars. We participate in the community health needs assessment with the other Bergen County hospitals here in the state, and that community health needs assessment is done every other year, and we're just about finalizing the one for this year. We use our community health needs assessment as our strategic roadmap to our initiatives, which include our equity and inclusion platform and includes our workforce retention and recruitment strategies. And when we look at what our community health needs assessment will demonstrate, the connection to community, the identification of that pipeline, where is the talent in our communities? How do we get there? How do we reach them? And so to us, it's really part of a bigger strategic vision and an approach to supporting our communities. One of the things we found through the COVID pandemic is the lack of trust in some of the communities of vulnerability, of a healthcare provider, of a big hospital system, for example. And so in order for us to establish that trust, it is incredibly important for the face of our workforce to be the face of that community and to be able to connect with them and to understand their needs so that we best can provide that care when and where they need it.
Correct. I totally agree with you. We're seeing a very slow but intentional move to provide care in ambulatory and community settings with a focus on prevention and maintenance to reduce acute care index visits, recidivism, and readmissions. So how is Bergen planning for a workforce that will employ new care delivery models in new care settings? Tell me a little bit about that.
So we're looking at every possible way to deliver care and listening to the voices of our community, understanding when and where they need the care, how they need it delivered, what makes the most sense, taking in mind the aging communities that we have to deal with. And technology platforms may not be easy for them to use. So care delivery in the home, hospitals at home, transitions of care medicine, leveraging our ability to go deep into our communities by understanding where they are and reaching them. And we partner very often with our county colleagues through a variety of different social methods, but also with our faith leaders. And that has been a tremendous asset to us in identifying what our communities need, because there's trust with the faith leaders. And so they bring that to us. So it's a variety of different ways. We try things. If it doesn't work, we try something different, but we're always looking for feedback on how best to approach the care delivery. And, with the talent, we're talking about nurses from the community and other professionals that we can get from our community. They will help guide that road for us.
We've been talking a lot about the current state of the industry, but I want to shift gears just a little bit and look towards the future. And as we look out 3 years, in addition to staffing shortages, do you have any thoughts around the next great area of focus for healthcare? What do you think it is?
I think the consumer is going to have a much bigger say in the way that the care is delivered.
Mm-hmm.
I think we have to be very aware of some of the disruptors in our industry that are coming along to try to get into the healthcare market. The payer structure for healthcare has to be top of mind in terms of how we get paid for the services we deliver. We are a heavily regulated environment, healthcare providers.
Mm-hmm.
We're living in a free market where
Mm-hmm.
others in our market can determine prices and how much we get paid and when we get paid and if we get paid.
Mm-hmm.
And, we don't have that freedom. So there's that crossing of those two types of worlds that we have to be aware of and be able to respond to. So I think those are some of the things we have to bear in mind. Delivery of services in the home. What type of talent do we need to be able to do that? How do we get them? How do we train them? How do we educate them? How do we keep them?
Mm-hmm.
And there's going to be a greater demand for the individuals that need hospital care. There's going to be a higher level of acuity for those individuals, because if you do a lot of the care in the home or in the community, those that need hospitalization are going to require a more intensive type of care. So being able to provide that environment, the talent, the infrastructure to do that are things that we have to continue to bear in mind.
Yeah, in some respects, I think other industries are light years ahead of healthcare in leveraging technology, artificial intelligence, and machine learning to solve problems and predict behavior and create operational efficiencies. What are some of the technology solutions that you think the industry will need in order to sustain its workforce and keep up with patient demand?
So we've all done great work with telehealth and telemedicine and mobile devices and being able to access care through those methods. I think the healthcare is going to have to embrace more robustly the artificial intelligence platforms and figure out how we can best leverage those to deliver care. I think tele nurse ICUs are going to be a thing that's not so far in the future. We're seeing some of that already. I think that's going to, as I mentioned before, the acuity of care delivered in the hospital, we're going to need to be able to pivot to those types of platforms. So I think, really embracing technology to leverage those types of care models is going to be vital.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree with you. I recently spent some time with Jennifer D'Angelo, the Senior Vice President and General Manager of the Healthcare Division for the New Jersey Innovation Institute. And we both know her well. She previously served as your Chief Information Officer when she was at Bergen. Yep. And today there's ongoing collaboration between you, Bergen, and the Institute for the outstanding work that you both do to serve the community. Jennifer was also a key figure in helping to unite our partnership. The New Jersey Innovation Institute has the New Jersey Health Information Network, which is the only health information network that enables the electronic exchange of patient health information among trusted data sources across the entire state of New Jersey. Because of their work, I was really intrigued to hear Jennifer's thoughts around the benefits of combining technology with healthcare workforce management. Deb, I'd love for you to also weigh in around your perspective from the hospital's perspective. What do you believe is the biggest opportunities for hospitals with this combination?
Well, Jennifer is a terrific individual, very innovative, and somebody that I call a friend and a great, wonderful colleague. So thank you for bringing up Jennifer's work. So it's not going to surprise you to know that we were the first hospital in New Jersey to join this New Jersey Inn. Thanks to Jennifer's leadership, actually, in that space. And that, to me, that's a really, first of all, the work that the NJII does is really groundbreaking. and innovative. And I do like to work with them because they bring things to the table that, we may not have been thinking about. And they unite partners like us and CareRev, but many others. And so our work with them has really been very gratifying and meaningful to the work that we do here at the medical center. Interoperability is something we talk about all the time. And, to me, that was a very important part of our strategic roadmap early on and still continues to be. Healthcare providers need to be able to exchange data in a safe, compliant manner to be able to take care of our communities the best way that we all can. I mean, we're all here to serve our communities and provide the highest quality care to them. And interoperability gives us the opportunity to do that when you can look at the care of an individual across the continuum wherever they are. One of the things I always tell my team is that we're only as healthy as our least healthy community. And I believe that interoperability and the work that NJII is doing and some of the innovations that technology are bringing to the table will allow us to keep our communities healthy, and so that we are, as a society, healthy altogether.
Sure, I agree with that. I think interoperability allows us to unite caregivers around a common patient and eliminate gaps. So completely agree with you. Deb, this discussion really has been incredible, and I thank you again for your time and for your being so willing to join us today to share your thought-provoking insights. To say that your leadership is admirable truly is an understatement. It really has been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
It's been a true pleasure for me, Amanda, and thank you so much for inviting me to be on with you. It's a privilege to be in this role. It's a privilege to work with CareRev, and the future is bright, and we are leading the way in the state of New Jersey. So thank you for this opportunity.
Absolutely.
That brings us to the end of this session. Thank you, Deb and Amanda, for this fantastic discussion about overcoming nurse turnover. We'd like to once again thank the sponsor of this session, CareRev. For more information, please visit carerev.com and check out our conference microsite as well as the conference booklet. To our audience, stay tuned for the next session. Thank you.